Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody has had a good weekend so far. It's Sunday morning, and I've been outside early this morning. I went out at about 10 to 7 to get the watering done. And right now, it's right before lunchtime, and it is already almost 91 degrees and very high humidity. So I'm really thankful I forced myself to get out there early this morning. I'm going to go on and do the kitchen tour. It may be a little long since I'm doing the whole thing and not breaking it down into the other cupboards and showing you those. But I thought I'd just go on and get this done for you, and then I will do the living room probably in a couple days. So let's get started on the kitchen. Just give you a little look here. On that architectural piece, I always put seasonal beads on it. It's a great way to decorate that piece. And I just have some little vintage pieces in the window. And I added a little Patriotic Anna Lee right there, and a little flag in the flower. Y'all saw all of this cupboard. That is the one that I did a separate video on. I really love it, and John and I are enjoying it so much with all the vintage goodness on it. And you know how much I love those sweet faces of the Johanna Parker Luna pieces. And my wonderful blue and white vintage bowls, and that great blue colander, lots of vintage tins. Just love that. I'll just give you a little look at the whole end of the room, and then we'll start heading that way. Y'all got a sneak peek at the table the other day, but I want to show you this wonderful surprise gift that we got in the mail from one of our wonderful subscribers, Theo. Look at this Anna Lee. It has a little heavy cardboard base that you can stand it up on, but I still have it with the band around it because I'll put it up. This is perfect for spring, or you could use it for Christmas too. And we just love it. Thank you so much, Theo, for that great surprise gift. All right, I showed you the center of the table. This great old blue and red tote was one we got in Indiana, in West Lafayette, when John had to go up there. At Purdue University, we went up there for, gosh, years for training every summer. And it was great antiquing up there. Love those napkins. And there's the picture that our son brought us back from one of the island visits he did. And of course, all the great Johanna Parker pieces. And there is that adorable little Anna Lee that Dusty sent us. And this milk glass hand is one that Janet brought us recently. And I love all the old tins. It's great to be able to use them when they have the red and blue on them. And the restaurant creamer and little spoons. And in that creamer, there are some of those little metal Clover Creamery, which was a local creamery that we had when John and I were growing up. Okay, we'll go back here. I didn't change a lot back here. On the spice drawers, I hung that little vintage pool toy. And just the plants here. I did bring out all those great frog pieces. I love those. And down on the bottom shelf is that one that we got a few weeks ago. Just love that. And there are the 2 bowls we got yesterday, the restaurant ware bowls, and I have an old opener in it. And over there is a little oval restaurant dish. And I still haven't decided what to do with that vintage trash can that's green. In the window up there are some more little vintage pieces. The little white and the red one, they have little stars on them, so they are definitely patriotic. I kept the rooster up there because I really love those paintings. And then there's the house blessing. I just added a little flag here, and the sweet Anna Lee duck. It's fuzzy and adorable. And down here is where I put some of my patriotic looking thermoses. There's a strawberry one and there's a peanut one with them playing ball. And on the corner cabinet, I have my vintage cherry and strawberry pieces. And up there on top is that beautiful green embossed picture that we got at that yard sale for $1, filled with buttons. And there's the old cherry salt and pepper shakers, and the cherry box, and the sweet little cup and saucer. And then those 2 mugs are part of a set, different fruits on each of them. And there is the biscuit jar that we got last year, the plate, and we got those 4 mugs. And back there is that adorable cherry piece that our sweet friend and subscriber sent us. And there is that adorable, sweet, sweet Anna Lee cherry pie. I kept my bee doll out, and I just added a little patriotic hat and put a little foo-foo thing in her hand. And there's that beautiful cup and saucer we got recently. And here are some Terremoto strawberry pieces and some beautiful red glass pieces and some little vintage let's see, I can't tell if they're both chickens or one's a rooster. And then this one over here definitely is a rooster. And some more red and white pieces and strawberry pieces. And the milk glass hens on the nest. And in that red and white transferware bowl, I have some strawberries. And they're sitting on that gorgeous vintage doily. And up there is that wonderful antique print. Up here, there's that little strawberry vase we got last year. And this cute little Humpty Dumpty patriotic piece and the little patriotic bunny. A friend used to make those and sell them at craft shows, and I just love them. There's where I laid those copper measuring spoons. In the brick mold, there are some of the sugar shells and other spoons, and that made in Japan victory plate, and of course another Anna Lee. I'll get back so you can see all of this cabinet. Down at the bottom, there's where I put that wonderful God Bless Our Home plate that Dusty sent us. And I brought my white chicken back out. And just the copper sitting on some old white plates and one of my bowls. We'll get closer so you can see it. Up on top, some great old tins, and this milk bottle has the head on the very top. That is where the cream would have went, and there is a cream spoon. That is a most unusual bottle. And of course I kept marmalade jars out, and the potted meat, and one of John's red and gold lunch boxes, tobacco boxes, cut plug. And here are some of our vintage treasures. These adorable little July angels, and the salt and pepper and sugar shakers. And there are blue and white transferware plates all behind on these shelves. More old tins. And this one in the center is our favorite of the July. She is just adorable holding those firecrackers. And then the two little girls with the stars, they're bells. And then there are the Uncle Sam vintage hat salt and pepper set. And down here are the adorable Lori Mitchell girl with the watering can, and the little fishing guy that Cindy got us one year. I think her and Jake, for Mother's Day and Father's Day. And I forgot to turn the little tree on. And there's the Betsy Ross tea. This little picture has the eagle on it, and the thread has red, white, and blue. And of course, the Maxwell House coffee has stars on the lid. And down here, there is the old Betsy Ross transferware plate made in England. And then these two pieces are Texas pottery. And there is the gravy boat with the little Bibles and a little hand-stitched flag that my same friend that made the Humpty Dumptys did. An old flag, and just some other old treasures. And of course, Uncle Sam and Betsy Ross and Lee. We'll look at it all, and then I'll show you closer. I brought the blue and white transferware, some of it in here to use with the red and white, and I did the same thing in the living room. Up on the top, I pretty much kept everything the same, except I added all those adorable Anna Lees. Just think they're precious. Didn't do a lot different over here, just moved a few pieces around. Here I did add in some of the blue and white transferware. It looks beautiful with the red and white. And back there is that awesome Churchill English picture. Squeaky doors. Floors hadn't squeaked yet. And right here, this is another little piece that was made in Japan, the little pin cushion. When I bought it, it came with all these little vintage flags. Here is a blue and white Eagle toothpick. I'm blue and white. It's just blue glass Eagle toothpick holder. I just put a flag in there. I added blue and white transferware plates and the napkins and some stars. And right here are two of my Washington, D.C. compacts. Well, actually it's three. One of them's back there. And I added that little red and white picture. I added this handmade quilt. It's not old, but it is vintage now because I've had it so long. It is absolutely a gorgeous piece. And down here, brought out that wonderful boys tool chest that has the eagle and flags inside. And I added some of my vintage patriotic pieces and a little picture. That's an old flag, wonderful old postcard. This is a little doll trunk. And then here is that ABC with bunnies, blue and white towel that Dusty sent me. I use a lot of bunnies year-round. I don't just put them up as long as they're in the right color palette. Like I said, we'll do the living room in the next couple days. Right here is another one of those patriotic sand pails. And the background on this one is orange. It is not faded. That is the way it was made. They used what metal they had during war times. Just added the patriotic beads with that gorgeous architectural piece. John's bubblegum machine is still right there. I have a crock with the old rulers in it and just more old treasures. And I just kept Mr. Piggy out. We love him. And there's the pig plate Janet got me. And there's that sweet cottage print that we got for $1. And other wonderful old things. And Janet got us the tomato sugar bowl and creamer last year. And the old pickle jar is there. And there is another beautiful red and white sifter. You can see nothing changed up there. Down here are the same vintage towels that I use here every year because I love them. I just think they're wonderful. Not a lot changed in this area. I just added a couple things. I added that sweet little Beatrice Potter ladybug. That's what my friend Deb sent me. I did bring those wonderful jadeite rooster and the hen on the nest that Tanya and Greg sent us. I brought that over here. And I brought out our collection of another local dairy. That's the Roanoke Dairy and Ice Cream. And they had the best raspberry ice cream. So we're lucky to have those pieces. And I put the little sultana peanut butter there. And up on top, I brought out more of our wonderful tins. I love this area, and I'm going to miss it when I take it down to decorate for Halloween. I kept those great seed packs there and the Schilling coffee tin, and I added an Astor coffee and a really old stencil tea tin. This changed the same, stayed the same. And I can't remember if I had the tomatoes up the last time or not. But I love that old label. Down here I just added to the tins that were here. Lots of great old tins. I think the Golden Sun are some beautiful tins. They're made by the Woolson Spice Company. I'd love to get some more of those. Lots of great tins. My coffee filters are in that old crock. Back there is the old Moro Marshmallow Sample Tin by Whitman's. and another Annalee. And here are my red and glass syrup pitchers and nut graters. And there's one right there too. Some Terremoto, some Patriotic longer burger pieces, and a couple Ray Dunn pieces. And there's a Patriotic Polish pottery piece. And over the sink are some more of that wonderful Texas pottery. That is something we never see. Only one time did we ever find a couple pieces at the yard sale. But our good friend years ago gave us all the rest. And now they're vintage, but they're just beautiful. And there's a vintage red, white, and blue doily. And me and John did those little stars a long time ago. Up there, I have the girl with the watering can bowls. And the center one is an advertising bowl for an old furniture store, Morgan Eubank, that we had years ago. And my pie birds are up there. Down here, I love this little set of salt and pepper shakers. Of course, they came from a yard sale years ago. There's another set of the Uncle Sam's Hat salt and pepper shakers. And over here, I brought the red spongeware crock and that gorgeous blue and white bowl. And there are some old mashers or beetles in there, and I put that new red-handled egg beater that we got yesterday in there with a smaller red-handled one that we got, I don't know, last year or year before. I brought back this awesome metal milk bottle that came from Michael's years ago, and the little spongeware, red and white spongeware pitcher. And that little heart is another piece that same lady that made those other Patriotic pieces made. And I just added that little Uncle Sam to it. I kept out the crown pieces that Vicky and Duke got us. And that is a Terremoto spoon rest right there. And just some towels that I have had for years and years. So this is all of the Patriotic kitchen tour. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm sorry it's a little bit long. And I hope to see you in a couple days with the living room tour. Enjoy your day and take a few minutes to do something that you love. Life is short, so take advantage of even 10 minutes. Just sit down. If it's something like drinking a cup of coffee, if you can find a cool place outside, maybe early in the morning you could do that. I love being outside early in the morning when it's cool and it's quiet because most of the neighbors are asleep. So that's a good time to get out and enjoy a few moments for yourself. So love and blessings to y'all from me and John and baby boy. We'll see you again soon. Till the next time, bye-bye.